Right, this has been a long time in the making, but here we go. This is a Nepenthes grow tent tour. My name's Josh, and this tatty thing that you can see in front of you is the grow tent. This is a 2 meter by 2 meter by 2 meter grow tent that I picked up. Oh God, what will it have been? 5 or 6 years ago now, something like that. Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, a good long while. Picked it up second hand for about 120 quid, I think it was. Yeah, 120. And it already had loads of rips and tears in it, but it's definitely got a few fresh ones now. But it seems to be doing all right. So yeah, let's show you inside. So this is what you get when we open it up. As you can see, it's a bit of a jungle there, but I absolutely love the jungle vibe. Absolutely crawling with plants. So yeah, it's not really the most practical setup. So the main idea behind how the plants are laid out was to make the most use of the light. So I've got one light here, Spider Farmer SF1000, and over here at the other side of the tent I've got the Spider Farmer SF4000. In fact, let's turn the fan off. Well, yeah, I'll show you the fan as well. I've got a little oscillating desk fan here. Excuse the mess, it's all just like I've got a bottle here to sort of try and help angle it so it's kind of pointing towards the plants and spreading in that kind of direction. It does the job, it's not too bad. Eventually I will buy like a clamp or something to attach to this tent pole so that it's secured properly. That's just a temporary thing that's been there a while now, but yeah, as you can probably see, the whole excuse me, the whole setup is very, very budget. The only thing really that I've forked out a bit of money for was the lights. The grow lights were a little bit more on the expensive side, but that's largely because when I first got started, I read Tom Bennett's blog from Tom's Carnivores. You can find his blog on there. And in one article he says that the one thing you don't want to skimp on is the lights. And I took that to heart. Everything else is very much done on the cheap because it's all I can afford, and really I wanted to spend my money on the plants more than anything, which is what I've done. So yeah, most of the money has gone into the plants. Like for instance, the only temperature and humidity monitoring I've got in here is this thing here. One of the cheap ones you find on Amazon. I'm sure a lot of you have seen those. That's it. For humidity, I mean, let me close the tent behind me. You've had a bit of an overview, so I can get a bit closer now. Right, yeah, so for humidity, I mean, the tent really keeps it above 80% when the don't want to close one hand. Oh, well, it'll stay like that. So I've got this little humidifier that I bought, again, that must be a good few years ago now, second hand off one of the plant groups. Meant to be 90 quid, but it's I picked it up for 40 and it's really good. The only time I use that is in the summer, or spring, I guess in autumn a little bit as well, when I have the tent open for extended periods. It doesn't seem to need it at all when the tent's closed, and at this time of year, even when the tent's open for a bit, it doesn't drop that low. So that's the only time I really use that, and then I've got a fan on top just to spread it around a bit. So yeah, just those two lights. This one oscillating desk fan, and I've got another little fan in there somewhere. Can we see it? There's a little computer fan there, because down there I've got a, can you see it? There, a little tube heater, like a greenhouse heater, whatever they're called. That comes on and off with the lights to help give a bit of a temperature swing, and that little PC fan above it is just to spread that warmth out a little bit. But that's about it. That's a real quick rundown of my setup anyway. I don't want to spend too much time on that. And we'll have a bit of a look at the plants and tell you a little bit about these. We'll start down here, I guess. So this is the first Veitchii I ever bought. It was bought from, it was bought as Veitchii Barrio. But this is obviously Lowland Veitchii, which is pretty nice. It's big strap-like leaves. And that's a new one it's working on at the minute. Should be a lot further along at this point, but it's kind of been neglected a bit. It's just chucked in this corner for now. You end up prioritising plants when you get a bit of a larger collection, so the nicer, more showy ones tend to get more of the light, and the ones that that are less get a little neglected now. And one thing I will say as well, because I will be saying this about a lot of the plants, and basically over the years I've had a lot of setbacks with regards pests, not getting the conditions right, and yeah, I've messed things up a few times. So a lot of the plants should be a lot further on at this point. And part of the reason I haven't done a video yet up until now is because they haven't really, looked through it. In fact, yeah, I forgot. I'm going to turn this fan off just so there's a bit less background noise. There we go. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, they should be a lot further along by now, but in the last, I would say, year and a half, they've done really, really well. So there has been better times to do a video before now, but this is good enough. There's some nice things to show. Some things are definitely past their best, but we've got to start somewhere, right? So here we go. So this thing you see in front of you here, these are basil pictures on Rob Aristo spec, or Rob Cantley cross Aristolochioides spectabilis from BE. Really nice BE plant, actually. So there's two basils down here. I came home one day, just a little bit over a year ago, like a year and a month or two, and the vine was snapped. I was kind of surprised, actually. I came home, and I'll see if I can show you. See there? That's where the vine was snapped here. So it was growing up here, but yeah, it's obviously made a little tiny side growth here, and this is where the new growth came out of at the top anyway. So this is growing well now. Done extremely well. That and the two basils at the bottom seems to be going all right. The pitches haven't got to the size that they were yet. This plant does seem to be quite slow at that, but seems to have done all right, really. This is a slightly older one, and sorry, the camera work's probably going to be terrible, but I'll do my best. This is a newer one. The colour's still fading, but looking pretty nice. Can't really complain at that. Really lovely plant, and as I'll show you in a bit, one of the top cuttings the top cutting I took from it is actually flowered, and is currently flowering female. This thing here is a load of flowers on the Spathulata cross spectabilis, constantly throwing out female flowers. So yeah, put some nice things on that. It's not a bad plant, so we'll see what the offspring do on that. Here's a little Alba marginata. Oh, it doesn't like focusing on that, does it? Okay, let's see if I can make it focus. There we go. So yeah, my favourite form of Alba marginata, the blacky grey one, whatever you'd call it. Love this thing. The main vine is vining all the way up here now. And yeah, the top's looking a bit weird for some reason. It's not happy. Don't really know why, don't know what's going on. But I do support a lot of the plants as well with string like this. Like this string is, well, holding up, you know, supporting different parts of this truncata here to try and keep it, well, from collapsing on itself, I guess. But yeah, a lot of the string is useful for plants wrapping their tendrils around. They seem to really like doing that, and it, in my experience, really does encourage pitcher growth as well. They seem to much more readily produce upper pitchers when they've got something to wrap around. They seem to like that support. That's my experience anyway. People might disagree, but it's just what I found. Back down here as we were, really like this little thing. This is Loei cross Arista from EP. Got this from Matt Richardson. What would it have been? Somewhere between a year and 2 years ago now, I think it was. Like a year and a half, something like that. Yeah, it's a bit of an older picture, but you can still get an idea of it. Really nice. Yeah, I bought this as a little cutting, and it seems to be doing alright in the tent. Slightly newer one. Yeah, pretty chill. There's a little, yeah, I'm going to keep knocking the camera, and it's not going to be great, but, you know, at least I'm putting something out there this time, right? There's a little Zachariana here that I got from my friend Isaac. Lovely plant, it's doing well. Next to it here, we have, yeah, this thing's been fantastic, I will say. So someone actually passed away and left their entire collection to a good friend of mine, and he ended up selling them all to me because he knew, obviously, that I would take good care of them, and this is one of them. This is a Maxima cross Babigier, and they were all BE plants that came from this person. I think it's quite focusing, yeah. But yeah, this is lovely. It's getting some really nice Babigier influence there. But yeah, I love this plant, and it's just working on another at the minute, which does have a thicker tendril than this one. So hopefully that means a bigger pitcher, and that's just here that he's working on it. That's the next one coming out of it. So hopefully good things on the way. Yep, back down here. So this is a Veitchii cross Platychila. This is a cutting of the one that Tom Bennett uses for a lot of his breeding. It's a lovely female. It's just working its way towards proper uppers. And I think it's a Wisterber clone. I just call it the Tom Bennett clone because that's where I got it from, and I think people know that plant. A little Vogellii cross Platychila in there. I believe that is Christian Klein plant that I bought from Matt Richardson a few years ago. It's been pretty slow. Well, it's picked up a lot recently, but yeah, it's one of the, well, like I say, I'll bring this up a few times because it's just the story of the collection, really. Loads of them had setbacks, they didn't grow well for ages, and it's only really the last year and a half where they've got used to my conditions and everything seems to be growing well. So yeah, just actually have a look at this one. You can just see it through there. I don't think I'll try and get that one out. This one I got from my friend Pender. This is a carnivora seed-grown hybrid. I believe, if I remember right, it's a Song of Melancholy Veitchii cross Loei Veitchii Boschiana Babigier, but I might have that a little bit wrong. I'm not sure, but I think that's it. Someone can correct me anyway. There's another Maxima cross Babigier there, bit of an older one. See, they still hold their colour pretty well. Absolutely love sunburst and stripes in these plants. There's something about that for me. Just, yeah, colour and stripes all day for me. This is a little bit of an older one actually, because it's see if I can dig it out. Well, there is another picture down there somewhere, but I'll dig it out at some point. This is an older picture on Lowii Vicii Red across Babigier, and it's the giant from EP. If you've seen their pictures that they were selling cuttings of this with, absolutely ridiculous. Gets absolutely massive and is stunning. It is literally one of the nicest Nepenthes I've ever seen. Mine's getting there. It's on the way, but it's still a long way off being that size. This is the full plant, as you can see it. Really, really healthy. Looks happy. But yeah, it hasn't actually been repotted since I got it. When I first got it, I put it in this pure cocoa chips, which is what I've been using for a while, and I've only recently mixed that up a bit and changed to a slightly different mix. But it's still in the same pure cocoa chips from 4 years ago. So I'm hoping once I finally get around to repotting this, it should take off again and start making some bigger pictures. So we'll see what happens with that one. But overall, absolutely thrilled with this plant. So happy to have this in the collection. Recently sold a cutting of this to my friend Andy, so hoping to see it do well for him in his collection. Actually, I'll show you this. So this is a truncata, a Pasian truncata that I got from the fellow who passed away, and this was one of the plants I got off him. It seems to be doing well in the tent. Healthy looking leaves, seems pretty happy, and it's putting out some pictures. This one's a bit tricky to get to. Don't think I can actually... I'll give you a bit of an idea at least. Ooh, knocking the camera again. You can kind of see it there. That's good enough, I guess, as a shot. Oh yeah, so you'll see. So if there's a picture that's developing at the hard against the side of the tent, I'll separate it with like a pot or something, so that when the peristome opens, it doesn't deform, you know, by being against the side of it. So you can see how that's worked there. It's done a good job. It stopped the peristome like deforming. So yeah, I'll do little things like that all the time. I'll show you some more as we get further ahead. This is a Raja cross Vicii, a nice BE plant again. I do have a lot of BE plants actually. I know some people knock BE, but honestly, they've got some amazing stuff. So like, don't sleep on their stuff. Honestly, it's especially these days, they've got some great stuff coming out. Yeah, this thing's been great for me. It was doing well for ages in pure cocoa chips, but then I found out that Raja and a few other species really prefer a Kanuma and Akadama mix. So I repotted this thing into a Kanuma and Akadama mix, and yeah, it just exploded in growth. Put out huge new leaves. All these big leaves that you can see are since I repotted it earlier this year. Would have been a few months ago. This is the most recent picture, which just before I made this I got out because it was a bit of a pain to get to actually. You can, yeah, kind of see that. God, the camera really doesn't pick up the size, does it? Like in person, this thing looks massive. But yeah, gives you a bit of an idea at least. Very, very happy with that plant. Right, okay, safely down. There's a little Spathulata crossomata there. Lovely little thing. Should be a lot further along. Had setbacks. You know the score now. So this is a little Nepenthes northiana that I had from my friend Kev Piper earlier this year. I've only had it a few months, but it's put out this beautiful, beautiful picture. Incredible species. I was always so scared to look to get one of these for ages. I saw a few available from BE distributors, but I always heard that Northiana was a bit of a fussy one to look after. It might be a struggle, so I stayed clear of it. For years, I only really bought plants that I was fairly confident I could look after. You know, a bit easier growing ones. And it's only a little bit more recently that I went for the some slightly trickier growing ones. But yeah, it seems happy. As you can see, some of the older leaves are all, you know, spotted up because they were not happy with the amount of light they were getting. But you can see the newer ones have adapted quite a bit now. So I'm just having a look at the growth tip. It seems a bit of a strange colour. Like, maybe it's just light or something, not sure. Looks a little dark though, it's just a tiny bit concerning. This thing, oh yeah, I'm gonna be huffing and puffing because like I have to stand in some weird positions just to get like a view, because I'm leaning and balancing over all these plants, you see. I have to put my feet like here and then lean right across to get over here. So if I sound a bit out of breath sometimes, it's because I'm practically doing yoga to, you know, to get across. But, you know, needs must. This is a Maxima wavy leaf from, yeah, this is a BE plant that I got from Ollie, Scotland Carnivorous Plants. I've got quite a few plants here from him, and this is one that I've had for a few years now. Started off quite small, again should be bigger, but all things considered, it's doing all right. Looking really nice. I do like a good Maxima. Oh god, knocking stuff over. Right, so this one, this is a Veitchii Candy cross Yamada Squat Stripe, and this is the first plant I ever bought from Tom Bennett. And honestly, he is a fantastic guy, and I cannot say enough good things about him. This was when he still had his shop open, a good few years ago now, and he was a supplier of CK plants, Christian Klein plants, and some of the plants he was selling, I just wish I had more money at the time. But when I was first starting out, I wasn't really prepared to spend that much on them, but as you go along, you know, eventually you you realise that some of them are worth spending a little bit extra for. And this is a new one that's just opened now. This is a classic example of two beautiful stripy Veitchii parents and the offspring not being stripy. So, not what I'd originally hoped for, but you really do learn to love the ones you've got, you know. Like, this is really beautiful in its own way. It's getting really squat, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. We shall see. Right, we'll move over here. So this thing on here, this is a Truncata C Giant cross Giant from EP. This is one of the many plants that I bought from the 2021 import. I went a little bit crazy on that one and bought, how many was it? 8, 9 plants, something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, I went a bit crazy, and this was one of them. And there's so many nice plants in that import. You know, I got real bad FOMO. I did not want to miss out on buying some of them, and this is one of them. I don't know if they've released any more Grexes of the Truncata C, or if this is the only one they've done. But I was really lucky to have picked one of these up, and so glad I did. This is the most recent picture, which is sizing up nicely. Doing pretty well, seems happy in the tent. It's slowed up a little bit since the cool weather's come in. I'm recording this, God, I can't remember the date. It's mid-December, heading towards Christmas anyway. But yeah, it's putting out some nice new growth. But yeah, it's slowed up a little bit. But as you can, I don't know if you can see in there. So a few leaves ago, the stem was all right, you know, doing all right, kind of chunky. And then the last few leaves, it's got so chunky. Like, for the size of the plant, like, look how thick that is. How girthy that is. Compared to the size of the plant. So to me, that says this plant is going to be taking off, especially when the warm weather comes back. I'm expecting really good things from this. It's getting tons of light, tons of fertilizer, so I'm expecting really good things. Another quick look at that picture. Doing all right. I like how these parts of the peristome folded back a little bit. Look a little bit like ears. I don't know, I do tend to anthropomorphize the plants a little bit. This thing here, the 2 growth points, is a Maxima that I got from Matt Richardson. Can't really remember the origins of this one now, but it's a lovely little Maxima. And the one just next to it here, this is a Ventricursor cross Rob Cantley, another BE plant. Got this as a cutting, what would it have been? Maybe 3 years ago-ish, something like that, from my friend Sean McLaughlin. And yeah, seems to be doing alright. It was doing better. I'm not sure exactly if it's got some issues, mites or something. I've had mite and thrip issues in the past, and I don't know if this leaf is indicative of something. But yeah, if anyone can help me diagnose, please do. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, it was doing better, was getting even bigger pictures, but it's slowed down a little bit now. Not exactly sure what's going on, but I'll blast them all for mites again soon, and see where we go from there. So, right, we'll have a look at this thing, shall we? So here's the full plant of this. This is a Lowii Kinabalu cross Truncata Sea Giant, one of the 2021 import plants. And this thing has absolutely taken off this year. Considering how much light the leaves are getting, like how big these are getting now, that's bonkers to me. This thing is ready to do some good things. Like that truncata that I showed you, this thing's getting pretty chunky in the stem as well, which again tells me that it's going to be taking off soon. This is the picture that it's working on now. Oh, I'm knocking something off. What have I knocked off? Oh, it's alright, it's alright. Yeah, so that's the one it's working on now. Now that thing is already like at least 25 centimeters, something like that, and it's not even opened yet. So I wish it was kind of facing this way, but what can you do? This is the main plant. So an older picture is down here. It's looking all right, but they don't look quite as, you know, dramatic, quite as nice once they're faded. I would show you the latest one, but it's really hard to, well, actually I'll do my best. It won't be a good shot, but at least it's better than not seeing it at all, right? So there's the lid of it, but you can't really see it from here, look, because it's behind that leaf facing the other way. But I'll see if I can get the camera in there so you can at least see it a little bit. I won't be able to see what the camera's looking at because I can't see the screen now, but at least you can get a bit of an idea of it. Like I said, it's like doing yoga here. Well, hopefully you can see that anyway. Yeah, it's already aged. Been on a good while now, and it's the one that it's working on now that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, incredible plant, really healthy, and should get absolutely huge. It has the potential to be one of the biggest Nepenthes in cultivation with those two parents. Because with this particular Grex, EP used their largest Truncata C to breed with it, which I don't think they used in the previous Grexes, or maybe it was just one Grex. But yeah, so they've used their biggest Lowii, their biggest Truncata Sea Giant, and I think one of, if not the largest form of Lowii they've got as well, their Kinabalu form. So this has unbelievable potential, and it's a plant that I really I really didn't want to be spending this much on a single plant when I was so early in my Nepenthes journey, but I just knew I had to. It's one of those where you just bite the bullet, you get on with it, and I'm so glad I did. Ridiculous plant. Next to it over here. So again, I'm just waiting on a new one from this. Yeah, it's got an old picture on it, which looks alright, but they look so much better when they're fresh. They just look amazing when they're fresh. This is a Loei Veitchii Boschiana cross Veitchii M, another from the 2021 import, an ICP plant. It's doing well, you know, if you ignore the light stress. The last picture it had was here. You can see I did break the lid off this one as well. You can't really see the top of the peristome anyway because there's leaves in the way. Really nice tall peristome, gorgeous plant, a lot of the Veitchii features. One of the nicest ones of these I've seen was Ollie at Scotland Carnivorous Plants. He's got one of these that, when it first opens especially, it looks just like an LVB VMV. And yeah, that is an unbelievable plant that I really want to cut of one day. Well, we'll see. This is the one that's just working on now in front of us. It should be a lot more squat once it opens, because when they expand, you know, they widen out. They don't really increase in sort of length, but they kind of fatten out a bit, so it will end up being more squat. But yeah, very happy with that. I'll do some more pictures and videos in the future to update on that. Sorry, I'm just having to readjust my footing to get. Oh god. Yeah, the camera work's not going to be great while I'm shuffling about trying to get my footing sorted. This thing is one of the bee plants that I got from the fellow who passed away. This is a Petiolata cross Veitchii, and it's lovely. Definitely not the biggest or squattest it's produced. I will learn how to talk eventually. But lovely plant either way. It desperately needs a repot though. It hasn't been repotted since I've had it. Well, I've had it now at least a year or two, and yeah, it's desperate for it. It really is. There are so many jobs that need doing in here. It's not even funny. And I will get around to them eventually. But for now, here I am doing videos. This thing down here, if I can get it in the light a little bit more. Oh, here we go. Is a Veitchii Loei cross Burberry. To me, one of Borneo Exotic's best crosses. Best plants in general. Stunning. The colours, teeth, bit of sunburst. It's one of my slowest growing plants though, but I really am thrilled to bits with that one. That came from Chris Crow at Sarracenia Nurseries a good few years ago as like a small, medium sized plant. And it's done pretty well. Just really slow, like I say. Yeah, so this thing as well. So this mine that you can see up here, going all the way up here, is a Peltata Giant cross Platychila wide peristome. This is one of the first EP plants that I got. I got this on the 2020 import, the first import I ever did with EP. I love the red that you get in the leaves. And this is a free plant that they sent along with my order. And I mean, I would have bought this anyway, you know, like it's such a great cross. This is the latest, I'm just pulling it out now, the latest picture that's produced. And over the last few pictures, the Platychila has really started to kick in. You can see it's adding a lot more broadness and flair to the peristome. And the Platychila and Peltata peristome colours and stripes really seem to complement each other well. So happy with this thing. Wow. Yep. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how the pictures develop as well, because it's still moving towards more true uppers. This is the one it's working on at the minute. I'm hoping that they get even more Platychila like. We'll see. Over here, right, actually I'll show you this one. So this one's currently blooming male, got lots of pollen ready to go out. This was the, where is it? It's down here. I've got to, it's down here, look, I've got to dig it out. This was the second to last picture it produced. So it's a little bit aged now, but it gives you some idea, like, especially with this plant. I mean, a lot of Nepenthes are the same, but this one's really impressed me at how each individual picture is really unique, you know, with the kind of colour and striping that it gives. I mean, the tricolour in that. Ooh. I love the complex colours, the striping, the flare. It's not quite, there we go, focusing in properly. So obviously with it being a platychila primary, the uppers are where it's going to be on this one. So it's nowhere near uppers yet. But even despite that, that is ridiculous. That is so nice looking. I've seen other people's, Ollie has been sharing some pictures of his, and wow, what an unbelievable plant. Again, this is one of the 2021 import plants that I bought. You look at the parents and you just think there's no way I can miss out on getting one of these. Bit of an older one. Actually, it's going off at that side, so it's not really not too. You can still get an idea of the colour, the texture. It's gorgeous, but the latest one is still opening properly and still folding back and colouring up. But this is the most recent one that's opening. And you can see just how much flare it's getting already. Like I say, it's still a way off uppers yet. It's getting there, it's moving towards them, but it's just flowered as well, which is, it's kind of surprising for me that it's even put this picture out, because it is flowering. And that takes a lot of energy out of them. So I guess this thing's got energy to burn. But wow. Stunning. Absolutely love this thing. Good God. So yeah. I'll have a bit of a whiz round here. We'll have a look at this thing. So this vine here. This is a Platychila cross Boschiana. And I believe this is a BE plant, not BE, what am I on about? CK plant, another Christian Klein plant, that was originally being sold by Tom Bennett. But I didn't get this one directly from Tom. Someone was selling a big chunk of their collection, and this was one of the plants that I bought from them through Tom. It's growing really well. It did recently drop all its pictures though. I had like 2 or 3 active and it just dropped them all, and I thought I'd done something wrong. Didn't really know what it was. Thought it was maybe getting a bit too close to the light or something. I mean, look at that leaf. But then it threw out a little basil down there. So I thought, right, well, that explains it then. And then after that popped up, it's thrown out 2 pictures. This one here, which, see, it's wrapped itself around this platychila vine, if you can see here. So I can't really manoeuvre it into a really good position to see. I'll try and get a good shot if I can. Yeah, it's not the easiest, is it? But you can get an idea from that one. But the most recent one, oh God, I'm knocking things about again. If I can pull this out without breaking anything. So this is the most recent. If I can get it in the light properly. Yeah. If it'll stop wobbling as well. Yeah, so that's Platychila cross Boschiana. Again, what an incredible hybrid. So nice for a primary hybrid. See what the rest of the uppers are going to look like as well as it keeps growing. Might end up chopping the basil and getting rid of it. I'm not sure yet. Normally what I like to do is let the whole plant grow out. As people who know me know, I'm not really one for selling basils and cuttings. I really like to let the plants grow out as much as possible. Yeah, so have a look down here actually. So this thing, yeah, this is again one of the first plants that I bought on an EP import. on the first EP import actually. This is one of the 2 plants that I actually bought, and it should end up getting massive because of the female parent, and I'm quite interested how it's turning out actually. It's got a huge, tall peristome there, look, huge neck on it. Really interesting looking. And this is a Truncata Ephipiata giant cross Maxima Stenophylloloi roccovici. So quite a long name. But yeah, it's pretty damn nice actually. It's already getting some good size and should get huge, like I say. So I am pretty happy with that actually. Down there as well as something nice. So another Christian Klein plant that I bought from Matt Richardson. I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. Is this Mollis cross Veitchii. Again, I love those tall peristomes. A lot of Mollis influence in there. It does seem to be strong in its hybrids, does Mollis. Yeah, it's turning out really, really nice. So that's careful. Yeah, see a lot of the plants here as well, they're just absolutely buried. It's getting some light there. It's definitely getting some, but a lot of them are just getting blocked out by all the leaves that are growing on top of each other. There's another Mollis hybrid in there actually as well. Let's see if I can get that out. This I've only had for about a year, slightly more than a year. I got it on, when was it? Last year's import during the spring, but because of regulations and stuff in the UK, it's a bit of a pain, so it takes months and months before the plants actually arrive. So this is the only one that I actually bought on last year's import. And this is a Rocco exotica boschiana, Rocco zacriana spectabilis trosmariensis, Loei Veitchii boschiana, Maxima mira, cross Mollis. And they do look a lot nicer when they first open. I mean, I do like this dark colour with the dark stripes. I can't really get it in the light too much, can I? Yeah, the camera's not really picking this up very well. But it is actually really nice in person. It's done really well. It's been slow settling in, but it seems to be getting there now. This is another one where Ollie at Scotland Carnivorous Plants, he's got one of these, and some of the photos that he sent, oof, what an incredible plant. Literally one of the nicest Nepenthes I've ever seen in terms of like flare, colour, like the complex deep colour and texture in the peristome. Let's move that growth point, don't want to. Right, so yeah, it's not all complex hybrids that I grow. There are some species here as well, and this is one of them. This is my Attenboreae. This is one of the first plants that I bought from Matt Richardson. When I first met him at one of Stephen Morley's open days, I spoke to him, said, "Hey, you're going to be there, you're bringing some Nepenthes along." He said, yep, I'll have some stuff with me. So I was like, right. Went along with some money and was not prepared for all the amazing Nepenthes he ended up having with him. So I ended up going a little bit crazy and coming away with loads of plants. My wallet was really not happy with me about that, I tell you. But I'm really glad I spent the money that I did. I mean, just again to have such lovely plants in the collection. So this is one of the plants where I learned a while ago, I heard from a few different people, that Attenboreae, Palawanensis, Raja, etc. much prefer an Akadama, I can't even speak, an Akadama and Kanuma mix. So a few months ago I ended up biting the bullet, buying a big bag of Kanuma and Akadama and repotting these, and ever since, I think this was the last leaf that it produced. Oh, something's tipping out somewhere. What's going on there? So yeah, this I believe was one of the last leaves it produced before repotting or after repotting. I can't remember. But then the next leaves that came out are much, much bigger, healthier, and the overall growth speed of the plant has increased quite a bit. So as another anecdote, another datum, I guess you'd say, to add to the, to what people say. Yep, Akadama and Kanuma definitely seems to work for them. Oh yeah, picture. So it's working on one now. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's getting a bit. It's not in a good place. So this is one it's working on at the minute. It's quite a thick tendril compared to the last one, so I would expect it to be a little bit bigger. It's not ideal though, is it? Well, it'll be fine. It'll always be fine. The last picture it produced, it was in the shade, so it's not as colourful and bright as some of the other pictures, but it's nice nonetheless. This is the last one it produced. So, I can grow Highlanders. It's not just intermediate hybrids. Steady, focus. But yeah, loving this individual. Really happy and really lucky to have this thing. Still don't want to focus very well, does it? Well, you get an idea anyway. Lovely plant. I'll pop it back in there. Yep, there we go. And speaking of those as well, down here is the little Raja. So this is the full plant, if it'll focus. That's the Raja behind the stake. Let's see if we can get in to see. It's got two pictures here. There's an older one here. You can kind of make out. This is the older picture. Oh, please focus, come on. You want it. Yep. Older picture, and there's a new one behind it there, which I don't think I'll fish out actually, but you can see it there. So it's picturing. It's doing well, it's looking healthy. And it's in a massive pot full of Akadama and Kaduma. But it's doing all right. And the Palamonensis, the other one that's that got the repot. So that's here. This is the plant. Again, since it got repotted, it started throwing out bigger leaves, growing faster. Just overall seemed happy, much happier. There's two dead pictures. There's one there, and there's one there that you can kind of see. I think I overfed it. I really did feed this one quite heavily. Yeah, tons of food into the pictures basically, and it's been growing quite a lot since. This is the latest leaf that I put out, which is you can even appreciate how much bigger that is than the others. Quite a bit bigger, so this thing's really starting to go now. But yeah, so it's just working on one now that should be by far the biggest picture it's had. You can see that there. So yeah, so it's just sizing up, it's getting there. That's what we've got at the minute. So yeah, totally ready for that one to take off. Actually, we'll have a look on this shelf thing here. So to try and make use of the space, I got some plastic, like, I don't know, little cheap shelving unit things from B&M. One there, and it's got a bit of a bow in it, but but I've got a big plastic tray that I just sat on both of those. Then I've got all the plants on there, and these are, I would say, a bit close to the light than they would prefer, but they seem to have adapted all right. They seem to be doing well. They're just getting much smaller leaves compared to what they would get, and but they're also getting decent pictures. So, like this one here is one I bought, I want to say early this year, but it might have been last year now. Might have been back in the last year. I really can't remember now. From a fella called John. Was it MacDonald Smith? Was that his surname? I don't want to get it wrong. But a fella called John in one of the Facebook groups sold me a cutting of this, and it was a lot smaller, and it's done really well. Big wide mouth, lovely colour. Should get pretty big as well. This is a truncata cross Maxima spectabilis. I believe it's an EP plant. He was selling a few cuttings of this and saw what the plant looked like. I was like, yep, we'll be having one of them. This is a spectabilis cross Babigia from BE. Had this one a few years as well, and this is one of the one of the plants that that suffered and struggled for a while until I got the conditions right. And now it's in bright light, a really chunky mix, and a bit of time to settle in, and it's doing well now. Again, the stem is getting a lot chunkier than it was from the last few leaves, so again that tells me it's really getting ready to take off. There's a little VCI cross platykyla that I got from Ollie a while ago now. Really can't remember when, but it's doing alright, looking nice. Lovely BE plant. What else? Oh yeah, of course, how can we not? Right, so this thing here, this is the most recent picture on, well, it just looks like a Northiana on steroids, doesn't it? Really, really loving this plant at the minute. So this is LVB VMV across Northiana. LVB VMV being Lowii Veitchii Boschiana cross Veitchii Maxima Veitchii. And yeah, that is really something. So I got this from my friend Sean McLaughlin, who I've known for a while. Bought this and another one, an LVB VMV F2. And for the longest time, again, I didn't give them the right conditions. They weren't super happy. They took steps back, if anything, not steps forward. And yeah, in the last year and a half, something like that, it's done this. It's looking fantastic. What a plant. The last picture it had, the one before that one, is here. It's looking a little bit older, but still holds that colour really, really well. Really, really nice striping. Chuffed with this one. Right, and here we have a little Spathulata cross Burberi. A nice BE plant. Lovely, lovely hybrid, this one. Much, much easier to grow than Burberi, but seems to have a lot of the same features. So if you really like Burberi, but might be struggling to grow it because it's a bit tricky and slow, which it has been for me, then this is a really good option. And while we're on here is a lovely Boschiana. Awesome pure species. More of an intermediate, does like it warmer. And this is one plant where the camera just doesn't really seem to pick up the richness of the colour. I don't know if it's the grow light washing it out or what it is, but that's such beautiful deep colour. Makes absolutely gorgeous hybrids as well as Boschiana. So hopefully this will flower for me one day and put some of these nice Boschiana traits into the plants. Like the striping they get on the uppers. Really something. Yeah, this was the last one. It's a bit bigger than the previous one. It's doing alright. So when the pictures are getting bigger, when it's sizing up in that sense, even if the leaves aren't really getting much bigger, it still tells me it's making progress. So, oh yeah, we did miss this one over here, didn't we? Oh god, get the footing right, nice and easy. Oh god, squeezing past plants. So this thing, well, this is the last leaf anyway, and it's just, this is the growth point. This is another plant that I got from Matt a few years ago. This is a truncata cross spectabilis Northiana, and as with some of the plants in the tent, it's been doing this weird thing where the lid will open super early in the development and not develop properly. See how it's a tiny little weird lid, but then the rest of the pictures kind of develop normally. I've heard that can be a humidity thing, but I don't know. Maybe pests. I don't really know. Might not be happy with the media it's in. I'll try a few things and I'll figure it out anyway. This is another one where the camera really doesn't seem to pick up the depth and complexity of the colour. Like, it looks nice. It does look really nice, but it's got a kind of orangey tinge to it as well that it just won't really quite pick up. But this is one that I do try and make as many of the pictures as I can face towards, you know, like towards this way, like so you can actually see them from the from the perspective of from outside the tent when you know stick your head in to have a look. But this one was just like, nope, facing the wall. So cheers for that. Yeah, it's going all right. It doesn't seem to be a big fan of the very bright light down there. It has got a huge basil down there that's the mine's coming up nicely now. That basil was tiny when I first got it, and it's getting big now, but it's very much starved for light. So yeah, we'll see how it does. Right, what are we on? Nearly an hour already. Wow. Okay. Didn't think I'd have that much to talk about already. Wow. Can rattle on, can't I? There is a little, well, not so little, Veitchii lowii cross Rob Cantley down there. It's working on another one somewhere, but yeah, really nice one. Again, like a lot of them, looks amazing when it first opens, and then fades to this nice colour. And now this plant is well and truly buried in the leaves. It has got one leaf sticking up here, but it's the main plant. Oh, you can see the growth point there. You can see the... So this, when I'm putting this finger, that's the main stem of the plant, and it's just covered, absolutely blocked out by all these other leaves. On that subject, actually, I might as well mention, so the leaves overlapping leaves would be a much bigger problem, but I kind of tackled that earlier because I knew it was going to be a thing. So I mentioned earlier that I've got light coming from two sources. I've got, can I even... So I've got one in that corner there, this big one. I mean, even this light on its own, it has a lot of spread to it. If you think of this corner here and this corner here, there's quite a bit of distance between them, right? And then I've got the other light behind me, which I won't show you again, but they're quite spread out, spread apart. For most people, I don't think that's as important, but for the jungle that I've got going on like this, let's give you an example. So yeah, you see there's this Antburii leaf is over this leaf. If I didn't have the light behind me coming from this angle, it was only the one coming from this angle, a lot of this leaf would be in shade, you see. But because I've got light coming from two different sources, it's still getting a good amount. So if you're going to have a really jungly setup like this, I think it is very important to have light coming from multiple sources. Maybe even more than two, I don't know. I think more would be helpful, but that spread of light does seem to be critical, I would say, for doing this. But yeah, hopefully, I can give bits of advice that can help you in your own growing. I'm certainly not the best grower. I'm not an expert by any means, but I like to think I've learned a few things over the years that can be passed on, that can be helpful to other people, and hopefully I can inspire people to do it on such a budget setup like I've got. You really don't need a lot of money to grow these plants. You just need to get the conditions right, While I'm down here as well, I might as well show you. So the ones that are on the floor, so I basically have lots of big black trays on the floor, and I have these are cooling racks for baking. I have those on top of the trays to keep the plants above the water and have a little bit of air around the roots. I mean, there's different ways of growing the plants, definitely. Like, I even grow some in semi-hydro and some with no drainage holes, you know, so there's no air getting to the roots, and they seem to do fine for whatever reason. I still don't really understand how it works yet. However, most of the plants here, in my experience, really do seem to like a lot of air to the roots. So rather than having them sat on, like, you know, a flat surface, having them on something like this, you know, so that the roots get a bit of air to them, seems to make a big difference, I would say. It's been quite a big thing for me. Yeah, what else can I tell you? So another thing I guess I might as well mention, if you haven't noticed already, I do like to keep them all in black pots. So everything that I can for the tent, like these, like the trays, like everything, if I can, I'll have it black. The only real reason for that, well, even the shelving there, look, you see how the shelving units behind the plants, it's all black. For me, I think the plants stand out a lot more. Like the colour of the pictures and stuff like that. It just stands out a lot better against the, you know, the black. But that's just me. You let me know what you think. I think it helps, but do you think that? Right, well, here, let's have a look at this thing. So another plant that I got from Matt Richardson, the first time I met him. This is an EP plant. This is Veitchii cross Babigia. Another one that the camera doesn't really seem to pick the colour up on. It's doing beautifully well, even despite the fact that it's really shaded now. So let me show you the full plant. So that's the plant. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much covered by the plant above it now, which I'll show you in a sec. Actually, I've not shown you that one yet, have I? I'm waiting for a new picture on the one above it, but yeah. So, not ideal at all, but it just put out that last picture that I showed you, so can't be too bad, I guess. Yeah, this is the thing about having such space issues. I really don't know what I'm going to do, because they're all getting bigger still, you know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, I guess. This is an older picture on Truncata Giant cross Veitchii M from EP, one of the many 2021 import plants. Does seem to get a little bit more from the Truncata parent, this one, but we'll see what happens when it gets bigger, because I don't know if you've seen the pictures that EP have posted of their plants. Absolutely huge and amazing looking. Seriously, something special. That's not the biggest picture it produced. It did produce a bigger one. Well, again, it's back there, it's buried, there's no way I'm going to be able to get to that. This is the full plant. I don't know if it's the cooler weather or what, but it seems to be like getting slightly smaller leaves than the biggest ones it got. It's just working on a new one here. I'm going to try and manipulate this into a position where it's not going to get like squashed and buried and stuff. See, I do a lot of things like this where I put sticks and stakes or whatever to try and push the pictures into positions where they're going to be seen and appreciated better. And also what it does is it hopefully keeps them out of the way of leaves and other things that might deform the pictures and the peristomas are developing. So I mean, that's the main reason I do that, I guess. Actually, up here I've got a little glabrato, which seems to be doing the small lid thing. Really nice species. Happy with how it's grown. Every now and again it throws a fit though, I don't really know why. It's getting a lot of light, so the leaves are looking a little light stressed, but it's finding like crazy. But yeah, every now and again it'll just drop the older leaves like this. A bunch of them will just go yellow, then black, and I have no idea why. Not quite sure what I'm doing wrong there. But it's got two vines. It's got one I just showed you. It's got this little one here with some cute little pictures on it. And it's got a nice little basil down there. That's the basil. So it's growing fine, but yeah, every now and again it just has a bit of a fit, and I'm not quite sure why. So again, if anyone has a bit of an idea, please feel free to let me know. So yeah, I showed you the Veitchii bulb. Let's have a look. There are some other things, but I'm just having to think what else I could show you. That's always the thing, isn't it? There are some things like in your face that, that are ready to be shown, but I want to save some of those till the end, you know. Some of the nicest ones. I'll tell you what, let's go for this one now. So this one is kind of like, oh god, this is gonna be right. See if I can lean on this without messing it up. Okay. Oof. So I'm actually really surprised at how big this thing's getting. I was not expecting it to get this big, especially not yet. You know, this is huge. I've got quite big hands as well. Like, that's the thing. I should really get a tape measure out and see actually how tall this thing is. But this is a Veitchii Highland Gold Peristome cross Maxima Stenophylloloi Rocco Veitchii. And it looks like a big fancy TVI. Thrilled to bits with this one. The last few pictures, it didn't really have as much flair as this. You can kind of see in there a little bit. But yeah, this last picture, it's really showing that it is actually going to have quite a bit of flair, which is great. We love the flair. Another one of the many plants I got from the 2021 import. Thrilled with that. Yeah, like I say, the size, I just was not expecting it to get this big. So that's surprised me. That's really impressed me. I think that's the cheapest plant I ever got on an EP import as well. I was really surprised that, you know, well, it was a few years ago now, but how cheap some of the nice ones were. I think that was like about 60 odd euros for they sell them as small plants, but they come as usually a medium at least. So 60 quid for a medium-sized plant that's ended up turning out like that. Crazy. And what I do like to do as well, with the exception of this Loei Veitchii Red Cross Babigia, I tend to get small new releases on every EP import. It's good value, and because it's like the genetic lottery, a lot of the plants really don't show their true features until they get a lot bigger. You don't really know how they're going to turn out. So I take the gamble, and the vast majority of the time it's really paid off for me, and I've been extremely lucky with some of the plants that I've got from the EP imports. So I recommend to people, if you've got the time and the patience, go for small new releases. If you want something big straight away, you can obviously go for specimens. But yeah, the new releases are where you're going to give yourself the best chance of getting the nicest ones. Some people have been a bit unlucky, and I've heard people be disappointed from the from rolling the genetic lottery. But for me personally, living here in the UK, it's just been fantastic for me. I can't quite believe how lucky I've been with some of these plants. Speaking of, I'll quickly show you this one. Now it's already past its best. If you go on my Instagram, you can see some of the best pictures. Well, yeah, this picture that it's got now, when it was at its best, I uploaded a real nice picture of it. Another one from the 2021 import, and this thing here, this is an LVB VMV from Grex 2. Again, it did have some flair when I first got it, and it did hint at what it could do, because it came with like a slightly dying picture. And I thought, okay, it could be all right. This is the full plant. Looks pretty healthy. It's doing all right in the mix that I use. And yeah, this latest one, it's not as big as the last one, but the flare, even the camera doesn't really pick up the flare that well. If I get a bit further away. The flare is immense. That is bonkers. Like I said, the colour was a lot nicer when it first opened. It's still absolutely incredible as it is. But when it first opened, it was just bonkers. I mean, look at the peristome. Well, if it wants to focus, the tricolour there. I think it's a little. The grow lights, the reflection just seem to wash out the colour a bit, but you can't quite see it so well. But yeah, the complex colours in there. What an absolutely unbelievable plant. I'm so happy with this. I've seen a lot of LVBVMVs. Like they're like Exotis A form from the first Grex, which is very similar to this actually. It's similar in a bunch of ways, but to have my own unique one like this, so happy. Wow. Could look at that one all day. But we should move on. And that is why I like small new releases. So I guess we come to the crown jewel of the collection now, or how I like to think of it. Again, I should have done this video like a week or two ago when this was really fresh and still looking its best. The colour's faded a bit now. It's still looking really, really nice, but it is past its best now, and the colour has faded a touch. This is a Veitchii M from EP's second Grex. I've given this one a name as well. I thought it deserved one. I called it Cosmic Candy. I've had some mixed reviews on the name, and sometimes I feel a little bit silly about it. But I'm going to stick to my guns, I think, on this one. Yep. But yeah, this one has some serious angles. Wow. Yeah, for a pure species, this thing is ridiculous. And look how squat it is, you know, if we go down a little bit. Because I know I upload a lot of photos from certain angles, because, you know, I like to get the angles from where it looks best. But even if you look at it from down here, look how squat that is. Let's get all the angles. Ooh. So you can see what it's like. Oh, I should mention as well, so this side of the peristome is sticking out a bit there because as it was developing, it got caught on this leaf, which is a bit unlucky really. But this side of the peristome here, that's how it develops naturally, with nothing touching it. So that gives you an idea of what it really looks like. And again, look at that striping. Look at the complexity of the colour. It's like more than tricolour, it's like quad colour or something. Could not be happier with this plant, the way it's turned out. Yep, wow. It's got a nice basil it's working on. I've chopped 2 of the basils off already, and they're currently rooting. And again, that basil is really, really starting to get chunky. So hopefully it gets even bigger and nicer pictures than this. The female used in this cross, the Veitchii M giant form that EP uses, is actually kind of massive. The male is the squat pink that they use, which again is a fantastic breeder. Like, crossing those 2 plants was just, yeah, it was always going to produce good things. Like, I've seen a lot of really, really nice Veitchii M's come out of that cross. But for my taste personally, I know we all have different tastes, this is in the top 3 that I've seen come out of it, which is really saying something. Another one that I could go on about all day. Yeah. Yep. This is definitely one for Instagram. What a hell of a plant. It is working on a new one here. And this is one where I've got this stake to try and make sure it develops somewhere where it's not going to get deformed like this peristome here. Really want to see what it can do. Well, we don't even know if it's at its biggest yet. I mean, like I said, it might get bigger than this. This is quite big. Camera really doesn't do it justice at all. But yeah, with that giant VHI as the parent, it has some serious potential. This is the growth point at the minute. It keeps, of the main vine anyway, it keeps teasing me, looking like it's going to put out a flower. Looks like it has a little baby bump in the stem and then just ends up being the next leaf. So I'm really hoping this thing flowers for me soon so I can get breeding with it. If it flowers female, I might lose my mind. Like, seriously, could you imagine it flowers female and then I cross this thing with Candy Dreams or something like that? I mean, there's already some unbelievable VGI in the works at the minute that have been coming out, like, what's it called? Jeff 1 cross Candy Dreams. That's going to be one of the nicest VGI crosses ever made. But if we can cross something with this, if we can cross this with Candy Dreams or something similar, I think there's going to be good things on the way. So yeah, another reason to get small new releases. Because especially VGI, like when this thing first came, when I first got it on the 2020 import, the picture was green. It just looked like a boring VGI, really. You know, just as they tend to when they're quite small. They don't really look like much. It was like a medium-sized plant, but you know, I expected good things, and then as it's developed, I just can't even, you know, I don't have words. Like, look at that thing. Yeah, another one I could, you know, look at and talk about all day, but I shan't. Yeah, one thing that I was hoping as well was, so I've got this platychila here that's vining nicely here. Seems really happy, but it seems to want to grow sideways. It seems to want to grow this way instead of up. So I've tried making it grow upwards just a little bit, just gradually, bit by bit. And I think by moving it a little bit and getting it a bit closer to the light, it dropped its pictures. So it doesn't have any active ones at the minute. This was the last one. If you go to my Instagram, you'll be able to see the most recent pictures. My Instagram, by the way, if you don't know already, is echo_plants_. But if you just type in echo plants, it'll find me. And yeah, another thing I do with these stakes is this serves a couple of functions actually. If I get these tendrils to wrap around this like this, the pictures will face forwards, but it also feels supported. It'll feel like it's got more support. So what I find that does, and I know other people have as well, but I think it might be slightly debated. What I find is if they've got some sort of support, if they feel like they've, you know, whether it's underneath like that or something for the tendril to wrap around like that, they will actually grow bigger. It's just an anecdote, again. Don't want people to take these things as gospel. Actually, I'll pull this thing out as well while we're... So this is another older picture on Lowii VGI Red cross Babigia Giant. You can see it's aged quite a lot now, but when these things first open, I want to say top 3 in the collection, but the competition is really tough now with the ones that I've showed you. This is such a nice plant. Honestly, when this starts to get its full size, because it's still a long way off, it still gets way, way bigger than that, it's going to be something seriously special. But, like I say, it does need a repot. Not looking forward to repotting this thing. Oh dear. I'll get around to it eventually. It'll be fine. And that's all the main stuff. Yeah, I've been doing quite a few little overviews, you know, to try and keep it entertaining while I'm thinking what else I can show you, see if I've missed anything. But I think that's most of the decent ones. Actually, how's that one looking? Might as well have a look down here. There's a VCI Low AI Cross Rob down there. It's looking alright. Kind of nice. But yeah, it's not getting enough light, so it's not doing its best at the minute. But I really don't know what to do, because I'm, as you can see, really struggling for space. Whew, what do we do? There is one here as well that I got from, I think there's a seed-grown Matt Richardson cross, this Babigia cross Loei. This thing here. Yeah, it's doing pretty well for me. It's finally adapted to the light levels here. It's not looking like too much just yet, but some of the Babigia cross Loei that I've seen have been absolutely phenomenal. So hopefully this will, yeah, I'm constantly shuffling things around to make sure they're getting adequate light. And there's another one here, slightly newer one, but really doesn't look like much yet. But it should do in the near future. Seems happy enough. Again, I know I do tend to repeat the same phrases a lot, and but in the moment I really don't know what else to say, so I just end up using the same phrases. So yeah, I don't think there's too much left. Oh, actually, I didn't even show you the bonsai, did I? Another one from Tom Bennett a few years ago. Again, same story. Setbacks. Finally settled in. Is this Nepenthes bonsai? Really nice black peristome. Camera again doesn't quite do it justice, but you can kind of get an idea. It's growing well. Seems to be doing fine. And this is the main plant. Should be further along, but I haven't really fed this one much, to be fair. Could do with a little bit more. There's this little hamata as well. There's not really much to show with the hamata yet. It's alright, it's looking alright, but I didn't want to focus either. There we go. So yeah, I've had this one for, again, quite a while actually, but it wasn't doing that great for a long time. Couldn't quite work out why. I mean, it's fine. It never looked particularly unhealthy, but it just didn't really seem to size up or put out big, beautiful pictures like you would hope from a hamata. So this is one that I more recently put into Akadama and Kanuma, only like 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that. So I'm hoping that settles in, because I've heard it much prefers Kanuma and Akadama, like the Raja, Aten and Palawanensis. So hopefully we'll see. Let's see if it starts taking off. Let's have a little think, and a little browse, see if there's anything we've missed. Is there that Spectabilis still there? There's a little picture on Spectabilis, but I don't think there's any chance I'm going to be able to get to it. Yeah, I think that is probably about it. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer in the comments. And maybe if I get enough questions about the same sort of thing, asking the same thing, then I might do a video specifically answering the questions, talking about things. I do plan actually on doing a bit of a video talking about my setup. So I haven't spoken about the setup too much in this one, just a little bit. And how I think about growing the plants, what I've learned about growing them over the years, and you know, some things that might actually be useful to your own growing. Because I've learned some stuff that I do think would be quite useful to know, but this is already a super long video, nearly an hour and a half. Christ. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this long, but well, here we are, I guess. Yeah. So if you have liked it, if you've enjoyed the video, then it would be really cool if you oh, dog having making a bit of a noise. Yeah, if you have liked it, then please do give us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to see more of these, because I do plan on putting more out there. Might do some shorts as well, some short videos. Who knows, just doing a real quick overview of the plants, or talking about specific plants, or I don't really know yet. I'm still quite new to this, and it's very early in my content creator journey. Weird to think doing this I'm actually a content creator, but yeah, here we are. Right, so yeah, what I would like to know as well, out of the plants that you've seen here, which are your favourites? Which ones do you like? Which are you most looking forward to seeing how they turn out? And what are you growing in your collection? Obviously these plants take a lot of patience, but they're incredibly rewarding seeing how they turn out. So this is what we got. So yeah, do let me know, and hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.